I was like hustling since I was like 12.
I knew I made it when?
Well, when I got my mom into a space where it was better than they got themselves into. Like to new house, where they don't have to work, things like that. And I feel like that's the biggest thing I accomplished. See, the most expensive thing we spend is time. This is why even the biggest punishment you can receive is time. So you're gonna have peaks and valleys, or have things change in your career at a point, and you feel like, is it at a high or is it at a low? You can't even. I never wanted to be someone different. I wanted to be a better version of me, like to not have the restraints that I had, And when you come up without finances, it seems like the biggest restraint, and it makes you make that financial or money focus. Mm-hmm. And I'm feeling like that's the answer, but there'll always be new confusion or new situations that show up. I believe depression is a luxury. Tough situations, like still look at it like I gotta get up and do what I gotta do regardlessly. I can't not do what I gotta do. So I'll work depressed. Or when I'm feeling those feelings, I say I just don't feel good, but I still do everything I'm supposed to do for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like that just is not acceptable in the early stages. So you look and you go, if you felt those feelings and you felt like you was depressed for whatever reasons, you still got up and did what you. Anybody who have a long enough career has peaks and valleys, And then with the upsides and the downsides, you just work through it. Every time you're in a position where you feel like it's going down, it's only for it to go back up again. I've watched it happen repeatedly. It goes down, then it goes up higher than it was the last time it was up, every single time.
I think the only thing that separates people is their passion, right? And when you become really passionate about something, you can work at it until you're good enough till you're on that top level of performance. So like if you see, sometimes people, it may be some sort of genetics involved with it, but when you see fighters, like you see Floyd Mayweather Sr. is what inspired him and created that passion and made him turn into what he is. And Kobe Bryant, his dad was a ball player too. And you got Venus and Serena, their dad helped them out. And you have people around you that can help you get the right information or help you do it the right way early, that you can actually become good enough to do it.
You start to think about what you're genuinely after, and that's happiness. So I'll always pick a new goal and move forward in different ways. So I think ambition is a tunnel that you run through that doesn't end.
Anyone who's extremely focused could be considered ruthless at points. Because if they get in the way while I'm trying to do what I'm doing, I just knock them out the way. The most ruthless people that you run into are going to be people that are just focused and not necessarily taking your life into consideration while they're taking theirs. It's like the district attorney's office that she wants the conviction so she can move up and her career can be good. She'll give you 100 years. And you look and go, why so much? Like, why do you have to do that? And it was like, what? You did it. In her mind, it's her doing her job and her moving up to the next level, and she'll just knock you over. You just become collateral damage. When things start to spread and they're aware that you're active or you're doing what you're doing, he calling me too. So, if you think it's going to be a one-sided situation, you're wrong. You just got to make sure you go so hard the very first time that there's not a time for him to come back. All we do is look at everybody have it all day come through the feed.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes people feel like there's not much. Because some people look at it like you came to remind them how much you have. The other way is to remind them how much they don't have. So they're angry with you for having it. I don't care what everyone thinks about me. If I did, I would be a mess. And you look and you say, you think I care about that? Because when I can hold on to the success that I've had and the things that make me feel good, if you haven't had that success, what do you hold on to when I say it back to you? Like the people come to you and they got anger and it's really coming from somewhere else. Like their road rage is putting your middle finger up back at them, because if you do, they may be already at the edge and they're gonna crash, and you just caused them to crash into you when they would have crashed into something else. You know, and when I look at it like that, I go, let me just control when I'm aggressive about things. And then when I do it, it's calculated. So now I mean it when I'm doing it.
When you look at cinematography itself, it's art imitating life.
Yeah.
And when you see people make choices, that it could have been choices instead of power, but power means the same thing in every language. I think money's the root of all evil. But look, it'll make you do things, the lack of it, but when you look up and you see people that have what you would view as financial freedom from that perspective, and that's the route that they took, it feels like the way to go. Like, it doesn't have requirements. And then for a guy that, when they're starting this in the youth, they're starting this at an age that they're not even responsible for their own behaviors. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we see, like the criminal activity and gang culture, it'd be young guys that they haven't developed their consequential thinking yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they really know what they're doing. Like, there's a lot of wet pillows in prison.
Yeah.
Like, under the circumstances of being incarcerated while they're alone,
Yeah.
they're crying, but they're not doing it in front of anybody.
They already been bumped around enough, they're damaged. They're damaged enough by the experience that even if they make it, they won't make it if they don't figure out how not to be who they are right now. They have to turn into something bigger and better as they go. With the new information and new opportunities, new things, they come because they really street, they really out there. If I could skip the hard parts that I went through, I'd skip it. You know, this are the things that your parents or that your people around you would try to help you to avoid. You know, telling you early, nah, you don't want to do that. Like, you know, caught up in it. And then there's a lot of stuff that's there. Like, I would avoid them now. Look, they're not a part of, it may be a product of the success because a part of my temperament comes from it and experience and how I view things, but it's not a part of the actual success. I'm being successful doing things that are a lot different from what I was doing at that point. Where you was going to get the information from? To think outside of that environment and see the possibilities of different things that you might want to do, and actually be able to find information to occupy yourself with learning it. I learned so much about myself over that time, because if you ask me to make a wish now, I'm just going to wish for more wishes. Because I need to feel the confirmation of success repeatedly, like at different points. Like, some people can hit the lick and go away.